Hi everyone, my name is Emily and I am Primetime's current intern. In this video, I will be showing you how to join a Zoom meeting from a laptop or desktop computer. First things first, I made my cursor pretty large and it's also bright purple, so hopefully you will be able to follow it around the screen throughout this video. Let's start with an overview. Zoom meeting invitations are sent through email, so you will want to make sure that you have access to your email account. Sometimes people might use a little icon or application on their home screen of their computer to access their email, but a lot of people also do it through just going on their internet browser. In case you're not familiar with that term, internet browser just means whatever thing that you use to access the internet and websites. So on Windows computers, that will typically be Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer, which is up here in the top right. Some people may have Google Chrome, which is down here in the bottom right. Firefox is another one, or if you're on an Apple computer, it might be Safari. But just do whatever you normally do to access your email. I am going to do that through the internet, so I'm going to pull up my browser here. And I am already logged into my email, but in case you are not logged into your email, go ahead and pause the video and do that, get everything set up, and then you can come back and resume the video. So we have my inbox here and we can see that I have pulled up this email that says I am being invited to a Zoom meeting. And this email contains everything that I will need to know in order to join this Zoom meeting. I can see when it's being held. It gives me the date and the time and even the time zone. It provides me with a link to join the Zoom meeting right here. And for security purposes, it also gives me a passcode. Not all Zoom meetings will have a passcode, but some might, so you will want to look through the email and see if your meeting is going to require that. The easiest way to access a Zoom meeting when it is time is by using this link. But if for some reason this link isn't working, you can go to the Zoom website. And on the Zoom website, in the top right of the screen, there will be a button that says Join Meeting. And you can click on that and then type in this string of numbers. But usually the link works just fine, and that is what we will be using in today's video for the purpose of convenience. So the one thing we want to note before we get started is that you will likely receive your Zoom invitation well in advance of the actual Zoom meeting. So you will want to make sure that you hold on to the email and don't delete it until after you have the meeting, because this email contains all the valuable information you need in order to access the meeting. Let's pretend that now it's time to join the meeting. I'm going to show you how to do that, as well as how to use the different functions of Zoom once you have joined. So I'm going to click on this link. And it's going to say that it's launching my meeting, and then it's going to ask me for the passcode. So I'm going to go back to my email up here in the top left. I'm going to click on that tab. I'm going to go back to the email of the Zoom invitation, and I can click on this passcode box and drag it away from the center of the screen so that I can see my password underneath here. It's 877275, so I'm going to type that in. And then we will click the blue button that says Join Meeting. Okay, so now we get a little video preview of what we will look like to other people when we start the meeting. A really important thing to know before you join a meeting with video is that you want to be centered in the screen, because you want people to be able to see your face. And in order to be centered in the screen, you want to look at yourself here in this box and see where you are. You also will probably want to know where your webcam is located on your computer. Basically, 100% of the time, your webcam will be located on the top and center of your computer. there's usually a black frame or border around your computer, and it will typically be on the top part of the frame and in the center. And it usually looks like some kind of black dot or circle. And yeah, just make sure that you are centered and that your face is visible, that you're not too close to it, or that you're not at a strange angle like this or this. You just want people to be able to see a good portion of you. So once that is done, then we can click this blue button that says join with video so that everyone will be able to see us. Now it's connecting, and here we are in our meeting. And we can see that we have this friendly little bear on the other end. He is just sitting there, so we have someone to look at the other end of our call. Okay, now we will get into some of the functions of Zoom, some of the different buttons that exist. I'm going to change a setting quickly to demonstrate something. So let's say that you join a Zoom meeting and this is what happens, where you can only see one person at a time and you can maybe see yourself in a small box. That means that you are in active speaker mode. And what active speaker mode means is that it only shows the video of a person who is actively talking at the moment. And then when that person stops speaking, the video will switch to whoever begins speaking next. But basically, in all contexts in a Zoom video, we want to be able to see everyone who's participating in that meeting at the same time. And so in order to take Zoom off of active speaker mode and put it into a mode where we can see everyone, this is what we'll do. You'll go up to the top right of your Zoom meeting, and there is a small button that says View. We want to click on that, and then we want to switch it from speaker view to gallery view. Then we can go back to seeing everyone at once. If you join a Zoom meeting and you already can see everyone at once, then you don't need to worry about changing any settings. Now, let's look at the bottom of our Zoom screen. Sometimes you can see that there is a row of buttons here, but sometimes that row of buttons may disappear if your mouse isn't on it. Let's say that we click away from it. Oh, well, it wants to stay. So, but sometimes if this row of buttons disappears, you just need to wiggle your mouse and move your mouse towards the bottom of the screen. We are not going to focus on any of the buttons that are here in the center today because we're just trying to keep this tutorial simple. And so all we're going to focus on are these two buttons over on the left. And those are really the only two buttons you need to successfully participate in a Zoom video. So we can see that there is a little microphone button and a little camera button. And with your settings, both of these things should automatically be on when you join a meeting. However, in the case that they are not, I'll show you what to do. You will know that your video is on if you can, of course, see yourself. But if your video is not on, this is what it might look like. This symbol down here in the bottom left will now have a red line drawn through it, which indicates that your video is off. And it will now say start video, because if you click it, it will give you the option to begin the video again. Your profile will also not look like, it won't show your video. It will likely just say your name in large white letters across a box. Or in the case that you happen to have a profile picture set up like I do, you'll see the profile picture. But in most cases, you probably won't have set up a profile picture, so you'll just see your name in large white letters, like I said. So if this is the case, you join a meeting and it's like this, and you can see this red line drawn through the video button, then we will want to click Start Video, and then we should be able to see ourselves. So you can tell when your video is on, when you can see yourself, and also sometimes where your webcam is, there will also be a little white or maybe red light that is on. Those lights are a good indicator that your video is on. Now, it's basically the same thing for the microphone. When our microphone is on, it will be white, and there might be this little green light kind of pulsing in the center of it. And it will also say mute, because if we click on it, it's giving us the option to mute ourselves. I'm going to mute myself quickly to show you what it will look like when you are on mute. So here we go. Okay, so you probably could see that when I clicked mute, it drew a little red line through the microphone symbol. And also by my name on my video box here in the bottom right corner, it also put up a red little microphone symbol with a slash through it. That also indicated that I was on mute. We want to make sure that in our meetings that we can be both seen and heard so that we can participate. So you will want to get yourself comfortable with being able to take yourself on and off mute or on and off video. Additionally, I've been stressing that you want to be able to be heard during the meetings, but there are times when you may want to take your microphone off. And that would be in the case that you have a lot of background noise going on in your environment. The way Zoom works is that it zones in on whoever's video is making the most noise. So let's say that maybe someone is trying to talk, but there's a lot of background noise on your end. It might inadvertently reduce the volume of the person who is talking and instead narrow in on your video. And we don't want that to happen, obviously, because if we're trying to talk with each other, that can be pretty difficult to be able to understand each other and hear each other. And so if we are in some kind of noisy setting, maybe there's other people talking in the room with you, or there's a radio going or something like that, we can either try to minimize that noise by either turning a radio off or asking other people in the room to be quiet, or we can simply mute ourselves when we are not talking. And that is why you'll want to be comfortable with taking yourself on and off mute so that you can turn off your volume when you need to, but turn it back on when you're ready to speak. So that is all for today's brief tutorial. The last thing that you'll need to know in a meeting is how to leave, which is just this red button here in the bottom right. When your meeting is over and you're ready to exit out, all you'll do is click that button. Alternatively, whoever is hosting the meeting may end it before you even get the chance to do that, which is fine. But stay tuned for more tutorials in the future. This was primarily focused on just helping people to join a meeting for a class, a lecture, or maybe a personal meeting set up by your friends or family. But we will be making more video tutorials in the future to show you how to set up your own meeting and send an invitation to other people, as well as how to share your screen for a presentation and some other things. So take care, folks.